Johnny, what are we doing next?
I'm just writing questions for Robbie Coltrane and Sir Michael Gambon. So this is heavyweight stuff. I've got to concentrate for a bit here, Dread.
Yeah, okay. Oh, could you ask a question for me? I just want to ask them what it is like to wear a T-shirt.
You think I'm going to ask Sir Michael Gambon and Robbie Coltrane what it's like to wear a T-shirt? It's ridiculous. I mean, laughing stock.
All right, a suit then.
Yeah, it's not bad, actually.
Oh.
What's it like to wear a suit? Michael, were you a Harry Potter fan before you got this role? How much did you know of the Potter phenomenon?
Not a lot. I'd seen the films, and I haven't read the other two books, read the third one, but I like them very much, yeah.
And obviously with you know, you taking Richard's place in there, I wondered how you sort of approached this role then.
I just did my own thing, you know. I mean, I do it with a slight Irish accent, which I think just seems to be right. I don't know why. It's just when I got on the set the first day, Alfonso, I said, I'll just do it. And he said, he came out and said, what's that accent you're doing? And I said, well, it's a bit of Irish, you know, because I am Irish and I feel sort of Irish, and this long beard and a long wig. So he said, all right, leave it in. No one's ever mentioned it since. And it is kind of, the part of Dumbledore is a sort of, a kind of a classic role, isn't it? I mean, I know you've compared it, I think, to King Lear, I read. Yeah, well, you feel a bit like King Lear dressed like that, and then he's all-knowing and all-powerful, isn't he? He's a bit nicer than King Lear. King Lear was a bit miserable, isn't he?
Absolutely.
No, he wasn't.
He's not very happy.
But not very good at relationships.
No.
No, really dysfunctional.
He doesn't like his children, right?
No, he wasn't good with kids, was he?
No.
Robbie, you are barely over 6 feet tall. In the movie, you're obviously huge.
8'6".
8'6". So what do they, I mean, without giving away too many secrets, how do they beef that up then?
Well, it's mainly done with very clever camera angles. And there are one or two other tricks which I can't possibly discuss.
But at any time, have you got tall shoes to take you up to an enormous height?
Oh, yeah.
So what's the biggest height you actually physically get to?
8'6".
And how does life feel when you're walking around 8'6"?
Very perilous. Because you've got all this hair like that, and you can't really see your feet, of course.
OK, but quite inconvenient life at that height.
Very inconvenient, and the costume's very heavy. The costume weighs about 90 pounds, something like that.
And not only does the costume weigh 90 pounds, but it's made of, what's it made? It's made of...
What do you used to call it? Moleskin, isn't it?
Moleskin, yeah.
Yeah, very thick and very hot.
And you had to wear this, didn't you, on the hottest day?
It was 100 degrees in the forest. But I have a cool suit, you see.
Really?
Which is, yes, it's a vest, but it's got miles and miles of plastic tubing in it.
Like a refrigerator.
Very like a refrigerator. And then there's a box with ice cubes and cold water in it, and a tiny wee pump off a windscreen wiper of a car, you know.
This is my question.
Yes, I know it's your question, but let them answer it. Robbie, sorry, your suit.
Of course, they dyed the vest pink just to make me look like a complete silly fellow. And they do. They pump the water around, and it's extraordinary because you know how woozy you get when you're really hot and your concentration goes, and then suddenly it's this shock of freezing cold water circling around. It's wonderful.
Michael, how excited were the young children in your life that you were in Harry Potter?
Oh, well, every boy, girl I meet asks me about being Dumbledore, so I do my best to tell them stories about it. Your
young relatives, is it, I mean, there must be a massive difference between that and sort of work you've done, say, during the theatre and things, which I would think they wouldn't particularly want to talk about.
They wouldn't want to talk about Samuel Beckett's Endgame, would they? They wouldn't appeal to the 8-year-olds.
Tell us another story about it, Grandpa. Please tell us about Samuel Beckett.
Tell us about existential alienation.
You're really watching the kind of the kids involved in this film grow up. Is that a strange experience?
Well, no, not strange. Just very interesting, really. Particularly this film, they're much more confident as actors, but they're much more confident as people because they are, you know, they are young teenagers now. And one thing that came across, particularly in this film, is there is a sense of fun between them because they've known each other for years and they get on well. So there's a good knockabout feeling between them, which means that when you do get a bit of light relief from the horrible things peering in the windows and trying to disembowel you, it's a genuine relief, which I don't think they could have done when they were younger, to be honest.
And I suppose they're more used to the acting now, aren't they? After 3 years.
Exactly. But I mean, they put more time in than probably any of us, don't they?
Yeah.
In terms of hours. And when they're not acting, they're doing their school studies. So it's a long haul for them.
They're there all the time.
Their concentration's astonishing. If any one of those had been the wrong person, and I mean not just the wrong person at the start, but had developed into the wrong person. In fact, we had this gag that we were going to stick a phony moustache on Daniel and get him to turn up with a cigarette holder and a couple of babes in a fur coat and say, my trailer is too small, love. I'm going back to it until, you know...
You got the nightmare child
The nightmare child scenario, yeah.
OK, Head, go on. I know you got a question. Crack away, go on.
Okay, great. Robbie, I think Hagrid uses the same hairdresser as I use. Do you think I need a new hairstyle?
I think you might have one or two split ends there, matey. But no, I think it's very you. It's very you.
Ah, great. All right. I'll keep it like this.
Go on. You got a question for Michael?
Hello.
Michael. Hello, Sir Michael.
Hello.
You guys are all classically trained actors. Could you get me a role as that skull in Hamlet?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea because you'd be great as a skull.
A chatty Yorick?
Whoever played Hamlet would be lucky to have holding him.
Lovely. Well, fair enough. Next question. Michael again. I felt like scratching my knee for the last 6 years now. So, for the next movie, could you get Professor Dumbledore to cast a spell to get me a body?
Yeah, I think that could be done.
What sort of body would you create
long,
from that?
thin, distorted.
Sounds like me.
You finished then, Head?
Yeah.
For now.
Do you know, it's a waste of time even asking you to do those questions. We learnt nothing. It's always about you. It's never actually anything interested in them.
Well, I've had a good teacher.
Pathetic. Thanks very much, fellas.
You're welcome.
Just,